Hi everybody, my name is Chloe Hudson and thank you for joining me. This is World Peace Projects. Today I wanted to talk about a theme that I'm noticing playing out in personal lives and in the mass consciousness as a whole, that a friend of mine and a client so eloquently termed birthing a new consciousness. So as we have this amazing solar eclipse and solstice coming up on Sunday the 21st, there is a massive change. People's foundation is changing. If we've done the work, we're having huge graduations and moving into a completely new chapter. And it's important in this experience to trust what is coming in the future, because while we're watching these new foundations build and allowing ourselves to let go of needing to focus so much on the past, we're not quite sure what the future will hold. So it requires a new level of trust and excitement for what's coming, because there's a palpable shift for many. So I wanted to talk about my personal experiences with this, and it took about 4 different examples, including something that I was going through, for me to see, oh, okay, here's a new theme that's developing. And I have my notes here. I'm just going to read a little bit off of it. So one was, last week I came to you guys in an energy of hopelessness almost, because in that space, while I didn't talk about my own experience, I'm also referring to how I've become very aware of certain multidimensional aspects that I need to work very specifically and strategically with to clear their experiences and reintegrate them like we do with our shadow work. And as I said, the core fragments and the core dimensional aspects that are causing the most confusion and the most damage are the hardest to find. So I've been revealing some of mine, which aren't pretty, and it can be very painful at times. Though, just like we know we have to do the work, we can dive to our deepest depths of the shadow work and dark night of the soul experiences, as we've done as a collective very recently. And when we choose to integrate and be efficient in the muck and do what needs to be done, we become the lotus birthing out of the mud. And we have a phenomenal graduation. And since this lifetime is a primary lifetime, these graduations are epic. And I find that we've moved into a epic level of graduation right there for right now for many. So one example that I have is I have a friend who we were doing a session, and it became we became aware that what's playing out currently in this timeline is a theme that's been playing out and building for many, many lives. And for her experience, she's multidimensionally graduating a discipleship with many different masters on many different levels to finally move into a space where she can now start to create and birth her own mastery and way of teaching that and sharing it with the world. Very unique to her own energy and her own frequency. So that whole level of relinquishing, drawing out of the discipleship and graduating was a very tumultuous experience for her as she was navigating it, and very confusing, because when we tap into these experiences, we may see the theme playing out in this life. That's evident. Though the emotions and the feelings and the thoughts that are wrapped around it are so intense, sometimes it doesn't make sense why we react so, in extreme ways. It's because you're feeling it on the multidimensional level. And sure enough, she moved through a very tumultuous experience, the dark night of the soul experience, to birth out the other side, feeling really grateful and rejuvenated and reborn. And then I had another client who had an experience that was so difficult, so heart-wrenching for months, revealing layers of programming and handling, and to reveal certain consciousness hacking by different beings. And she was so diligent and determined, working through a lot of trauma, finding a lot of hidden experiences, to finally birth and graduate into a level of reintegration where an epiphany experience was offered to her through spirit that has given her such a state of peace and contentment in her ability to feel more integrated, to release the need to perceive this world in such a polarity density. And that space is most enjoyable for her right now. And I'm very grateful for this experience, because her communicating this with me tipped me off to realize, I see this is a much bigger theme that's playing out right now for all of us. And I wanted to share that with you because I think it's so important, whether you've graduated or you're moving towards the end cycle of a dark night of the soul experience, and you're right there, that next level of release is much needed right now. And it's a wonderful experience. A lot of us that are doing this type of work, these graduations may be revolving around awarenesses of how, other aspects or dimensional beings or what have you have been doing code swiping and consciousness hacking. So this is a theme that has been revealing itself more and more lately and will continue to do so. And what's wonderful about this is that we actually have the tools and the ability to recommandeer our codes, our consciousness, integrate that, and expand into self that much more. Sign up for my upcoming Psychic Self-Defense course. This is going to be a 5-week course that runs July 11 to August 1st. It'll be Saturdays at 4 p.m. It's going to offer an early bird special of $175. Regular pricing is $210. You're welcome to do a drop-in rate of $53 per class. Please go to jupitersoundscape.com/summer-2020, because what's being asked of all of us is to get more present in the flesh. It's time for us to become more aware of how, when, and where our spirit has retreated from our physical body. We came into this lifetime to be spirit in flesh. And as a primary lifetime, it is important that we make our peace with our incarnation now. For those of us that aren't quite happy about being here and now and the difficulties we've had to go through, and maybe are grappling with the acceptance and embracing and gratitude of being alive at this time and moving through these experiences. I know that a lot of light workers are just biding their time in certain ways. They can't wait to get out of this matrix, right? Though the point is for us to have a full embracing, to embrace the darkness, to embrace the light, to embrace ourselves in all ways, and allow ourselves to anchor into this physical body now, so that we can own our authority, our sovereignty, and we can birth out of the illusion. And that's what's being asked of at this time. So these are just some of the things that I wanted to share with you. There is a full release of hopelessness that's sloughing off from the last few weeks for people. And to come out the other end of that, because in the perspective of hopelessness, it seems like there's nowhere to go. There's no escape. And that release is very, very empowering. And it's very important at this time as well. So we're building a whole new path. We have a completely new foundation that seems to give us permission in the coming days and weeks and months to move forward in a completely different trajectory that's going to be very fulfilling and freeing to each person's individual experience. So another thing that I wanted to just note is, as we've mentioned many times before, while we're experiencing this inverse matrix and the illusory experiences, if we are able to take the equal opposite, we can see the truth of what is, of who we are, what the real experience may be playing out, what have you. So in regard to becoming more aware at this time that when we're able to come together, especially in the flesh, with consciousness and inspiration and creative expression and laughter, the frequency ignition right now, the light that's expanding, and the ability to attune to that up-leveling of consciousness is unprecedented. So in any ways that you can, allow yourself to start coming together with those that you love, with people that have same heart-to-heart understandings, like-minded, mastermind, meeting of the energies, however you want to experience it, so that you can also begin to birth and flourish this energy that is on offer right now and is so supercharged for us to be able to tune in and tap into the higher awarenesses of consciousness. And of course, we attune our energetics to that. We seep it in, we soak it in, we own it, and we gift it out to mass consciousness. So I wanted to mention that because it's such an easy experience to have right now, which is one reason we're seeing that we're being led to not be able to come together. Though we know better, we know how to counter. We can utilize our authority, we can own our bodies and come together in the flesh with others, or even through our technology, and connect and communicate and share and laugh and play, and allow that energy to heal and birth and expand. Being present in our body right now is so important, and understanding the equal opposite of being absorbed into the media and the TV and the movies and the technology and the social media is what leads us out of being present in our body, of experiencing self. So just think about giving yourself permission to be fully present in you in all ways, at least for a certain amount of the day. It's very important right now, and it's a wonderful time to do it. It's so easy to tap in to the frequencies of nature and receive that charge, receive the healing of earthing and the dielectric magnetic energetics, and it will help you significantly more than you're used to right now, because the energies are very vibrant. Ultimately, the illusion is afraid of your quantum, is afraid of your light. So expand yourself into your light, into your truth. Own that and wear it. Accept that you're here now for a very, very powerful reason. And there is an opportunity for you to slough off all sorts of baggage. I'm talking timelines and timelines of karmic debt, loop patterns, soul fractures, code swipes, consciousness hacking, what have you. You have help. You have the opportunity to do that. If you don't know how, please call me, book a session. I will assist you. It is such a wonderful time to hop onto the huge wave of energy coming in for this very, very powerful solar eclipse and solstice playing out on Sunday and all the days before and after. If you would like to connect with me and receive healings, receive consciousness coaching package, visit my website, worldpeaceprojects.global, to book with me and connect or receive my free e-newsletter. If you enjoy my videos and my work, please support me with sharing my videos. It may be one of the few ways that many of us content creators have to get our work shared if we are on the truth train at this point. Thank you so much for giving me a thumbs up. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope you have a fabulous solstice. Take care.